Tapovana presents Ayurvani, speaking the language of healing.
Namaste everyone and welcome to Ayurvani, the language of healing. So we are here with the second podcast with a very interesting topic that is Tridoshas, which forms the basis of Ayurveda. Here comes a very curious question, ma'am. Whenever we hear the word dosha, it is seen in a very negative aspect. But in Ayurveda, how is dosha seen, Tridosha seen? Can you please put some light on that?
Yes, Dr. Amrita. In Ayurveda, Tridosha is the central framework and that explains how the body functions, why disease occur, and how healing is possible. So the foundation of Ayurveda views the human body as a miniature reflection of the universe. Just like nature, our bodies are also made up of five elements, or we call it as Pancha Mahabhutas, which means space, air, fire, water, earth, also called as Prithvi, Ap, Teja, Vayu, and Akash. So these elements form the physical structure of all the matter, similar to how atoms form the basis in modern science. But when it comes to life itself, it is governed by three main forces found in the nature. You can see the sun and the fire, which brings the heat, dryness, and release of energy. The moon and the water, which provides cooling, nourishment, and growth, and also responsible for the conservation of energy. And the wind, which ensures there is a harmony and balance between these two forces. But when these natural forces combine within the human body, they form three biological energies. Combination of these Panchamahabhutas, and these biological energies are well known as doshas. So it's not a negative word actually. So Vata, which is having a combination of space and air, is responsible for movement, communication, and the flow, like in you can say is the physical form of wind, you can compare it as. And Pitta, which is having the combination of fire and water, and it is responsible for transformation, metabolism, heat, and the physical form of the sun and fire, you can compare it. And Kapha, with the combination of water and earth, which is like responsible for structure, stability, lubrication, and the physical form of moon and water, you can compare it.
Okay. So next, going with a very basic question, what is the work of these Tridoshas in a human body?
So when it comes to the doshas and their functions, so you can just compare it like vata to be the communication manager, controlling all the movement like breathing, circulation, nerve impulses, movement of food through the gut, etc. And pitta can be compared to the chemical engineer, like handling the digestion, metabolism, body temperature, and even the vision. And Kapha to be like the construction manager, which builds the and maintains the body structure, which builds and maintains the body structure, provides lubrication to the joints, supports immunity, and gives emotional stability. So all these three doshas are essential for life. So when they work together in harmony, the body remains in healthy state. When one becomes excessive or deficient, then there is imbalance leading to the disease. Thus all the physiological functions of the body are governed by three doshas.
So, for the better understanding, I would love to ask you this question to quote some examples on how actually these tridoshas have an impact on human body.
Yes, each dosha has specific roles that can be seen in all the parts of the body, from large organ systems down to the level of single cell. So first one is the vata dosha, which is also known as the force of movement. The main role is it is responsible for all the kinds of movements in the body. Example, at the body level, you can say conduction of nerve impulses, muscular contractions, blood circulation, peristaltic movements of the intestines, and all the sensory and the motor functions. But when you see it on the cellular level, even a single cell follows the same principle of vata, that is the transport of nutrients into and out of the cell, endocytosis, exocytosis, transmission of signals between the cells, neurotransmitters or hormones binding to receptors, and movement of genetic material during cell division, mitotic spindle function we call it as. So this is seen in the cellular level of a vata dosha. And when you compare, when you come to pitta dosha, which is known as the force of transformation, the main role is responsible for all kinds of chemical changes and transformation in the body. At the body level, you can see digestion of the food in the stomach and intestine, regulation of body temperature, metabolic processes in tissues, actions of most enzymes and hormones. And when it comes to the cellular level, pitta can be seen in like mitochondrial energy production or ATP synthesis, enzymatic breakdown of the nutrients, DNA transcription and protein synthesis, etc. Also, even oxidative reactions involved in metabolism. So, when it comes to kapha dosha or the force of structure and stability, the main role is it provides structure, stability, lubrication in the body. And you can see the examples at the body level as formation and maintenance of the body tissues, protection of mucous membranes, functions of the lymphatic system, etc., joint lubrication. At the cellular level, kapha is present as integrity of the cell membrane and stability of the cytoskeleton, production of structural proteins like collagen, elastin, etc., and maintenance of intracellular fluid balance.
Okay. So that is so very interesting that tridoshas in the cellular level. So moving the same question forward, I would love to know that tridoshas has the physiological function are these qualities, but when they turn into pathology or the imbalance turns into a pathology, what are the impact on the body?
Absolutely. In Ayurveda, when doshas go out of balance, they manifest as different types of diseases. So each doshas, when aggravated or vitiated, creates its own distinct pattern of disorders. Vata in pathological conditions, you can see some of the neurological disorders such as paralysis, then tremors, then some of the pain syndromes like sciatica or osteoarthritis, digestive issues like bloating, constipation, and mental impacts like anxiety, restlessness, overthinking. This is the Vata pathological conditions. In case of Pitta, you can see some of the inflammatory diseases like gastritis or Amla Pitta, Netra dosha or like conjunctivitis, some of the skin disorders like pigmentation, vitiligo, urticarian rashes, liver and gallbladder disorders like hepatitis, gallstones, and mental impact like irritability, anger, frustration, etc. So kapha in pathological conditions, you can see some of the respiratory disorders like chronic bronchitis, asthma, metabolic disorders like hypothyroidism, obesity, digestive issues like indigestion with heaviness. Mental impact would be like lethargy, depressed, excessive attachment, etc.
Okay, so tridoshas having so much importance in our physical and mental health, is there any way that we can see them or measure them, as they are so much basic entities of our human body?
Yes, it's an interesting question. Doshas are functional principles. They are not like physical substances like cholesterol, blood sugar, or hemoglobin are tangible, measurable things. You can take a blood sample and quantify them in mg per dl. Vata, Pitta, Kapha are not substances. They are the governing functions of our body. Like all movements, lakshanas you can see. All the movements in the body, nerve impulses, etc is Vata. All the transformations like digestion, metabolism is Pitta, and Kapha is like all the lubrication, stability, growth, immunity, everything comes under the Kapha. So you don't see, electricity flowing inside a wire, but you can see its effects when a bulb glows or fan rotates. Similarly, you don't see doshas, but you can observe their effects or gunas in your body and mind. They're detected through patterns, but not numbers. So, for example, a thermometer cannot measure happiness, but you can know if someone is happy through their facial expression, voice, and action. So, doshas are also identified by patterns of signals and symptoms, and not by the lab reports as such. So, methods of, Ayurveda doctor uses clinical observations, like clinically he observes the dry skin, Then he asked about about their digestion, whether it is sluggish digestion or is there any irritability, etc. And one more diagnostic we use as pulse diagnosis, or nadi pariksha, feeling the quality of the pulse to detect the imbalance of the doshas. Also darshana, sparshana, prashna, pariksha, there are different types of parikshas that we see.
Lovely explanation. So my next question would be, so these three dosha set are traits, or is it our actions that create the imbalance in the body?
Yes, it's the both, but in the different ways. Your default setting or prakriti, you're born with a fixed proportion of vata, pitta, kapha. Like your body's default operating system, you can call it as. This baseline explains why one person is naturally quick thinker and restless. Then you can compare as a vata person. Another one is sharp and driven, the pitta person. Another one is very calm and steady, or the kapha person. So these are not the problems, they are simply your nature. So when imbalance starts, that's called as vikriti. When vata is in balance, you'll be quick, creativity, you'll be adaptability will be good. But when vata is in excess, then quickness becomes overthinking, adaptability becomes restlessness, sensitivity becomes anxiety. Same for pitta and kapha. Their natural strengths turn into weakness when it is out of balance. So, how action disturbs the doshas, lifestyle choices, and surrounding can push a dosha beyond its natural level. For this, you can say that irregular sleep, constant traveling, skipping the meals, and social media overload, all this increases vata. That's why today you can see people who aren't naturally vata dominant show vata type issues like anxiety and scattered thoughts. So it is because of the nature of the doshas. So the dynamic nature of the doshas shift with season. Okay, for example, vata in winter, pitta in summer, kapha in spring. And also like age, like kapha in childhood, pitta in middle age, vata in old age. So lifestyle and diet, like what you eat, how you sleep, how stressed you are. So Ayurveda always considers both your original prakriti, that is your body constitution, and your current status, or it is called as vikriti. So before we recommend anything like diet or herbs or panchakarma, yoga or daily routine, we have to keep all these in mind.
Okay, so here comes the word prakriti, which forms the basic constitution of doshas in the body.
Yes.
Now that takes us to our next topic, that is prakriti, and we would love to have you again on this podcast and discuss in detail about the prakriti and its assessment. Till then, everyone, make sure you stay tuned.